And we've got our 2 board up, 1 board. As Phil gives him the steely-eyed glare on its side. Green flag, they're racing. Ricky Corey with a hole shot, but Lenny Hale right there with him. On the outside, that's Dave Stanton with the BMW just charging up the hill. But look at that action. Chris Siglin's worked his way up to about 7th place. I lost track of Toy and Perriott, but I'm sure we'll see him up by the front real soon as we go for our next wave. 1 board on its side. Green flag, and we're racing. The hole shot's going to be in the number 2 position of Peter Fry. Look at him just tear on ahead there. Slotted in next to him, I believe that's going to be Alexander Aguilar. So great stop for the novices. Now we're going to try to find the leaders coming out of turn 6 at any moment now.
One thing I did notice there is Aguilar's front wheel was way over his front, that line in front of the number, but he didn't really get anywhere on the start, so I'm not sure if the officials will go for that. But and there go our leaders up in the 7. I'm going to say that's Ricky Corey out front, but it's a long way away from here in the announcer's booth, so can't really tell. We'll get more idea when they come down the hill in the 9, but they're a little bit spread out. We've got a big gap between 6th and 7th there, so we've got split in the field, but this is a
there's no gap between 1st and 2nd, as Ricky Corey has his hands full right now. I believe that's Lenny Hale right behind him. They're breaking out just a little bit, but there is people moving and shaking their way up the front. Look at some of the speed difference. We're coming into turn 9, deep on the brakes. We've got some of our guest stars are working their way up the front. Chris Siglin's now all the way up to in about 8th or 9th place from a last row start. That's a heck of a challenge.
Here they come around 11, blasting up the straight. Front wheel popping up as Corey just changes gear. Lenny Hill right behind him. 3. Is that Perriott in 4th? Oh,
I believe that's Perriott up in 4th, right in front of Arden Schwartz.
Yeah, Jeremy Toy up in 4th.
Chris Siglin working his way up, not far behind Jeremy Toy. So they're definitely the movers and the shakers coming on up through this. But they absolutely are putting on a show for us. If you are not watching this race, drop what you're doing, come on down. This is going to be a preview of the Formula Pacific round.
Here we go, we got Ricky Corey in 1st, followed by Lenny Hale 2nd, Dave Stanton 3rd, Jeremy Toy 4th, Martin Schwartz in 5th, and Jason Laritzen in 6th.
And I'm not sure I read this right, but this on their first lap from a stop, from a dead stop, these guys are already doing 140s. That's about what they should be doing on their flying.
Oh, that's amazing. Ricky Corey's opened up a huge gap at the front over Lenny Hale in 2nd. Well, watch this as they come around 7 at the moment. He's opened that up way more than it was when they came over start finish. He threads it through 8. He's going right across the paint, turns it to the left there, and then flings it to the right as they come over the hill. Watch that front wheel pop up and it's a wheelie bump. Comes down hard on the anchors as they come in. They're going to throw it to the right. They're closing down. It looks like Toy in 4th is closing down on Stanton. That'll be a really good race. What we got to figure out is where is Jason Laritzen in all this. Jason's just going around turn 10 right now. Looks like
Chris Siglin is now stalking Jason Laritzen. Chris Siglin has worked his way up into about 7th place, coming through turn number 9. Ricky Corey past start-finish line, followed by Lenny Hale. Dave Stanton with his hands full with Jeremy Toy. Those two have battled quite a few times before in some of the AMA rounds.
Oh my God, one scorching 139.529 from Ricky Corey. Unbelievable speeds here, ladies and gentlemen. Get down here and watch this racing. It is fantastic. Ben swings it around turn 1.
What I'm also seeing, looking back here, Jeremy Toy is down into the 139s as well. He is going faster than Hale and Stanton in front of him. He just needs to get around. And those guys make themselves wide when they want to. He's going to have his hands full if he can break free. But at the same time, we've got Chris Siglin trying to work his way on up. He's caught on up to Jason Laritzen. I don't know if he has the pace to catch up to these guys, or he's trying to work his way through too much traffic. But Chris Siglin all the way up into 7th place already.
I don't think Siglin's going to get anywhere near top 3 in this 3 unless there's an accident or something at the front, because those guys are flying out there. Look at this, 3 bikes fighting for 2nd now.
We're seeing a Rossi impression come into turn number 1 here. We have one of our novices coming through, foot down into turn number 1. I was wondering how long before that would happen. Ricky Corey with a commanding lead, but look at the action behind him. I think we've had a swap there. Jeremy Toy is up into 2nd place, I believe.
Yeah, Toy is overtaking Lenny Hale there, and he's going to set sights on Ricky Corey, but whether he can catch him or not, we'll find out, because not this lap, but the next lap will be Toy's first lap with nobody in front of him. And it looks like Hale just got past there for third position. That was Dave Stanton, went up the inside of Hale in 11. So they're heading off now. We'll see what the lap times are for Jeremy Toy. Jeremy Toy this time has got open in front. Look at this, 5 or 6 bikes through turn 9, side by side. Great to see everybody out there watching, because that's a great spot to go watch the bikes thread the way through turn 9 with that right-left chicane. This slows everybody down. And we saw, you were commenting on the gentleman with the bright yellow leathers and then the Rossi impression. It looks about as slow as Rossi does on that Ducati right now, actually. So
I think I hear that one all the way from Italy. Oh, Rossi, Alan, why you have to make fun like that?
Yeah, he's trying hard, but you know, that bike's just not his. Now there he's just coming around 9 right now. That's the guy we're talking about. And he goes across the dirt, just like Rossi does. And keeps it up this time. Those bright yellow leathers, it's like, it's a nightmare for a rider, because that just sticks out like a sore thumb to a commentator who's on Vicodin. And we just want to keep going after him, because it's like, who's that banana riding around the track right now?
I think it's peanut butter jelly time here as we turn our attention back up to the front. Ricky Corey still with a nice little gap, but Jeremy Toy is closing that gap. Jeremy Toy, I believe, is the fastest rider on the track right now, followed by Dave Stanton and Lenny Hale, Martin Schwark, and Chris Siglin just got his way around Jason Lauritzen, and he's brought company with him. Jason Lauritzen has, I believe that's Perriott on his tail, as Perriott's figuring out that BMW of his. Jason Lauritzen is about to get passed by Perriott on the brakes. Nobody's stronger than Perriott. Look at Perriott at turn number 11. Jason's like, where the heck did you come from? He goes, oh, it's Perriott. I'm not going to try to outbrake this guy. Chris Siglin is now taking a long look back, expecting to see Lauritzen, and there's Perriott on his tail. Ryan Perriott is definitely going to be running now, as he's got the pace to get it going.
Yeah, Toy the fastest there with a 1:39.3. He's only a 10 faster than Ricky Corey, so he's not going to make up that ground too fast, but we do have a few laps left, so we'll see what he can do.
The third fastest rider on the track right now is Brian Perriott. He's back in about 8th place, but he's not going to sit around with that for very long. Brian Perriott is the man on the move, and I love watching that guy into turn 11. I'm going to turn my attention now to turn number 11, so I can see Brian Perriott lap. Just go ahead and take another rider and another rider. He's got years of practice with those great big old BMWs. Alan Myers might deceive me, but we got 2 Rossis out there, 2 people wearing bright yellow leather. We got one of them coming through turn number 1, the other coming through turn number 11. So the one in turn 11 is about to get a clinic in speed from Ricky Corey, as he's going to get enveloped, my guess is, right around the start-finish line.
Yeah, I thought it was just me seeing double on this Vicodin, but you're right enough. There are 2 yellow bikes, 2 sets of yellow leathers out there. Ricky Corey is going to give him a school, and hopefully it doesn't hold Ricky Corey up as they come through and into 1, because Ricky Corey has to hold his speed up. He's going to get past him, but I think it's going to hold up Jeremy Toy. Maybe not. Toy's well behind, so I don't know if that foot out is trying to slow him down because the brakes aren't slowing them down, but style points, nul point.
Brian Perriott is all over the tail of Chris Siglin now. Brian Perriott on the move, pulling a low 140 to Chris Siglin's high 140. I don't know if Chris has a pit board out there, but he needs to know that Perriott is all over his tail, as Brian Perriott works his way up in 7th place. But up front, Jeremy Toy with the fastest lap of the race by a good margin. Ricky Corey is actually slowing down a little, and by slowing down I mean a 1:39.7. And we have a bike down to turn 9, on the exit of turn 9. Ryder is up and okay, but that is not in a good place.
No, I think we're going to have to, there may be a flag here. It's kind of on the line of the entry, but if you swing wide there, and maybe just before the entry at 10, they have a couple of seconds if they can get across there and push that bike away. But our leader, Ricky Corey, is going flying down the hill at the moment. So hopefully our corner workers will not take the chance and try and go across there. Ricky Corey has that nice big gap over Toy. So the yellow flag obviously means there's no passing.
Ricky Corey through cleanly. Here comes Jeremy Toy. Dave Stanton through turn number 9. Cleanly gets around the bike on the...
Oh, look at look at Parry had that back wheel up about 12 inches off the deck as he was trying to get in there for the signaling. Now,
and there's lap traffic there. They're working their way around lap traffic. 3 fast guys all at once trying to get around 1 yellow guy.
Well, remember that under that waving yellow, they're not allowed to pass. So Parry had checked up and just sat in there behind signaling. But there's no yellow flag in turn 11, so the pass went through. And it looks like Schwartz. There goes Sigland
on the inside.
And
Sigland takes Perriott on the brakes, but has to go very wide coming out of turn number 1. I think Perriott gets him back coming up that hill, and they got Martin Schwartz just barely in front of him. Martin is about to have a Perriott-Sigland sandwich come all over him.
Yeah, Toy down at 39.3 right now. He is flying out there, but Corey's only a 1/10 slower on a 38.47. So I don't think he's going to catch him because it looks, and you never know with flat traffic though. It looks like Ricky Corey has blasted away.
And first call for race number 5. Race number 5, this is your first call. Race number 5 is 600 Superbike and Novice 600 Superbike. First call.
There's Ricky Corey coming in at 9. Flips it. Got some black markers in front of him there, but he still has his same kind of distance over Toy in second. So Ricky Corey saying, hey, you big guys might come up here, but I'm still going to take you.
And there's Chris Sigland on the brakes trying to get around Martin Schwartz. Doesn't quite get it done going into turn number 9. Chris Sigland is riding, of course, those CT Racing Pirelli. CT Racing is the sponsor of this class. Go see CT Racing Pirelli tires over on Bender Row.
Looks like Harry might get held up a little bit here. Toy might get held up as he goes up the hill in a 2 and a black marker behind him. They should be going around 3 right now.
As riders come by, we're on the white flag now. This is going to be your second call for race number 5. Race number 5, 600 Superbike, and this is your podium celebration. Race number 5 is your podium celebration. This is your second call. Jeremy Toy is going a little faster than Rick Corey, but little being the operative word, I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that distance. Jeremy Toy, a former number 1 plate holder in WSMC. He's done the AMA rounds a number of times. He's a known fast guy. He's done a lot of testing for Road Racing World along with Ken Hill. As the white flag continues to fly, that is a reminder you are on your second call for race number 5, 600 Superbike. Second call. And look at the action coming through turn number 9. Chris Sigland is all over the back of Brian Perriott, but Perriott is just such a monster on that turn. And the checker flag comes out. Ricky Corey takes the lead, followed by Jeremy Toy. Third place, this is going to be Dave Stanton all by himself, but look at fourth place is the real challenge. That's going to be Lenny Hale. Fifth place, Brian Perriott. Sixth place, Chris Sigland, then Martin Schwartz. Heck of an action and a preview of what we're going to see later in Formula Pacific. They're going to have to do a quick cleanup of a bike, and then we're going to get going. Look at that wheelie from Jason Lorenzen. I think that's the best $50 he ever spent. Jason Lorenzen getting really good with the wheelies on that 1000. It must be a lot easier than the old 600 he had. And we are on your final call now for race number 5. Race number 5, 600 Superbike, final call. As the checker flag continues to fly, we are on our final call, as I see only about 3 bikes down there. We want to try to populate that a little more. 600 Superbike is your lunchtime podium. Lunchtime podium is 600 Superbike. I know that's unusual because lunch will be after race number 6.